Hello and welcome. Today is D&D number 13. I'm Gregory. This is 1 in 20 D&D, and thanks for stopping in. I have a couple things on my mind this morning, so we'll just kind of ramble through and see where we go. First and foremost, today's Wednesday for me. I'm recording this on Wednesday, so that means tonight is my regular game, my Wednesday game that we play on Roll20, and typically that I'm actually running the game. And I talked about flexibility yesterday, so I guess I just want to very quickly give one more simple example about what I'm really talking about in like how it actually plays out and what I really mean about it. So like today is my father's birthday. Hey, happy birthday, Dad. And we're going to go out for a family dinner. And so I am possibly going to be late to the game. So last week, I let everyone know I might be late this week and suggested that Reed run the game for us this week just in case so that everybody else can start on time, and I should be there on time. But worst case scenario, if I am running late, at least we're still playing and we're still playing on time. So that's kind of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about flexibility. Like, have a backup DM. You know, that's a good simple general rule. If one person has a one shot ready that they can do in a pinch, if something happens and the DM can't show up, your whole game session doesn't fall apart. You know, it's just a good idea. You know, it's something simple to do to keep the energy and the cycle and the rhythm and the habit and, you know, the ritual moving forward. It's just a suggestion. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Just a thought, something that I am interested in and have tried to implement into my games and game sessions. As well as, like, yesterday was Tuesday, the game I just started, that's actually sitting at a table, which I'll try to share, like, some maybe some shots, like some shots of the table when we're actually doing gameplay and, you know, miniatures and all that stuff. I'll try to get some behind the scenes kind of stuff going for you guys. In the meantime, though, that game got postponed until Friday. We all agreed, hey, this week Thursday doesn't work for one of the Tuesday didn't work for one of the players. Cool. Does another day work this week, or should we just run it with two guys? Everybody's available Friday. Cool. Let's move it to Friday this week. Simple solution. Here's another thought for you, kind of random. I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts. If you can see it, it says, "You are beginning to damage my calm." It's a classic Jainism from the show Firefly, if you're familiar with that fantastic show. And if you're not, please go check it out. It only aired for one season, which was a sin because it is absolutely phenomenal acting, directing, and writing and so forth. It's one of Joss Whedon's brainchildren, whatever. And the movie Serenity was a very beautiful bow to the fans because he had this awesome story that Fox cut short, and then luckily he was able to make a movie that wrapped everything up with a bow to explain like what the heck was really actually going on in the story. So the only reason I bring it up is because I have a question for you. Is there a Firefly role-playing game? I don't know that I've ever seen one. I feel like I maybe have, but I can't for sure say that I have. And if not, why not? Oh my goodness, wouldn't that universe make an amazing setting for games? For basically it's space cowboys, but like, you know, the weapons are sort of primitive in a way. They're kind of like these they're not quite like laser guns yet, because, well, I don't know that laser guns will actually ever really work. It's fun to think about. Plasma weapons, maybe, but these are sort of like energy weapons. Like the way I think of it is like magnetic weapons, which actually work and are terrifyingly powerful. They usually take like huge amounts of energy, so I guess maybe you could imagine with like energy advancement, that's what happened. So somebody would have to create, I guess, a system of the weapons and how those are functional, and then what kind of damage they do and so forth. But then you have like the Reavers, which are basically like these like sicko barbarian zombie cats, essentially. Like, that's it, basically, like barbarian zombies. That's essentially what they are. And you would have like, I mean, you could have some real cool fighting stuff too, because like, oh my god, River tore it up in hand to hand, right? So there's room for all of that, plus all of the like tech stuff. Like, you have Kaylee, who could basically like talk to. She was like the ship whisperer or something, like this unbelievable engineer. Like, she's just a brilliant character. If you haven't seen the show, go watch it, please. It's amazing, and I feel like we need to invent or create or try to run a role-playing game based on it if it hasn't been done already. That's just, somebody go out there and do it, or I will, or something, because, man, let's get that license, because what a cool game I think it could be. Anyway, that's just my thought for the day. Wouldn't Firefly make a great role-playing game? Or is there one out there? If there is one out there, please share it with me. I need to know. I need to check it out. And so these are the random thoughts I have. Could D&D, could you adapt 5e into Firefly? Now, Ravnica just came out, which has some interesting tech stuff. And there are things out there like the GIF, the hippo men that have firearms. So firearms are in D&D on a certain level. And on a certain level, there are flying ships. So it probably wouldn't be super. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about like Spelljammer and that kind of stuff and some of the other stuff, the space D&D. I don't really know enough about it. I might have to look into it, because maybe there's a way that could be done. See, now this is a cool idea. So I'm going to play in a one-shot, I think Friday night, which is going to be crazy chaotic if I run the game and then I have to zoom home Friday night to play a role. But the cool thing about that is it's going to be on Discord, and primarily it's going to be RP stuff, not so much like combat mechanics, so that should be fine. Here's the thing, though. What I'm realizing is like skinning. I'm gonna do another session. Right now, I'm just gonna talk quickly about it for the last minute or so here of this episode or session, whatever you want to call it. Skinning. Let's talk about skinning for a second. What the heck do I mean by skinning? And I'm not talking about skinning an animal like to get its hide, which you can do as a skill in the game. I'm talking about taking the framework of D&D and overlaying something on top of it. Or vice versa, taking something like Firefly, as an example, and overlaying the framework of D&D on it to make a game that you can roleplay and have some fun with. That's a really fun idea. So if any of you DMs out there are looking for like a new idea, a new hook, or take your favorite story. It could be anything. Princess Bride jumps into my mind. Little Mermaid. Anything and everything. Friday night, I'm supposed to be in a one-shot, and it's like basically like a Muppets one-shot. Literally, we're taking like, somebody had an idea like, hey, I want to play a Muppet, and we got on the riff about Jim Henson, and so the DM basically is like, yes, I'm gonna do this great story about your Muppets playing D&D, basically. I mean, no, you're playing D&D as Muppets. So what a cool skin that's gonna be. Again, taking an idea, using the framework of D&D, and then making a really fun, cool, crazy story. Awesome, simple idea. So those are a couple thoughts for today and a question. Does anybody know if Firefly exists as its own standalone role-playing game? If it does, let me know. And as for you DMs out there, think about using a skin, a framework of D&D as how to play and the statistics and the mechanics, and then use an idea from a movie, a book, or whatever, your real life, whatever, and make that your D&D game. There you go. That was my DnDaily number 13. Lucky 13. So hey, thanks for stopping in. I'm Gregory. This is 120 D&D. You're awesome. I can't wait to see you at a table someday. And in the meantime, keep rolling 20s.